Hello everyone, welcome to Digital Vidya's webinar. I am Divya Mahajan and on behalf of Team Digital Vidya, I would like to welcome you all. The topic for today's webinar is building a highly digital ecosystem of travelers on the move economically. And we have Mr. Pushpinder Singh, the CEO and co-founder of TravelKhana.com, to share the journey of his venture and how it solved the concept of reaching the target audience who is traveling or planning to travel. Welcome, Pushpinder. Just before handing over the
Thank
session
you.
to him, just before handing over the session to you, Pushpinder, I just want one more minute to explain everyone that how the tool works, and especially the ones who are joining the webinar for the first time. We keep everyone on mute. So we have the question panel on the right hand side, if you can see. Everyone who is having some queries or want to contribute to the webinar, they can put their comments in the question panel on the right hand side, and we'll handle your queries and open the session for Q&As after 30 to 35 minutes of the presentation. So I hope this will work for all. So it's your field now. Just go ahead, Pushpinder. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Divya.
Yeah.
So, Divya, I don't know how it works. Do I need to introduce myself?
Okay, you can just start. Yeah. Hello?
Yes, okay.
You can.
Agenda, I'm sure like people are here who are much more like experts than who I am and what we are in terms of the digital technology and especially the digital media. But what I am here is to really share our experiences, particularly in terms of how we have economized on our overall spending in terms of really becoming cash positive on a per order basis. And one of the key things is that we, rather than really taking a generic approach, we understood what we are doing and we are continuing to do that, and we use technology at wherever possible. So that is something that we used in terms of our strength to economize and really build up a scale. So that's the agenda. So just to give you a brief of us, we are the forerunners in terms of a marketplace for a person who's on the move, and in particular we are focusing on train travelers, although we have just announced that we will be adding buses shortly. There are 30 million passengers who travel in trains every day, and about 16 to 17 million are traveling in long distance trains every day. So we have a substantial number of people who are going in trains, and this particular requirement is actually really underserved, and that's where really TravelKhana first sensed this opportunity and started this particular aspect. Just to give you a brief, existing options are just not enough. We have people, 6% of the trains, of the 4,000 overnight trains, have in-train catering. No suburban train has catering, or no even passenger train has any sort of catering or any sort of food facility. And the food, whichever is available, is really a very poor quality. So it's either available in the train through pantry cars, or it's available at the station or the platforms, and it's of a very, very poor quality. And a large number of people don't want to eat that food. And that is basically, we recognize that we can serve these people, and we can actually tie up with the restaurants and we can serve them. So that's what we figured out. And we built the entire system and a pipeline for delivery, which is based on the train movement. So one of the positive aspects for us is that this is a sensitive problem that we are addressing. We keep hearing about issues about train food almost like on an everyday basis in the newspapers, magazines, everywhere. And we really find that this is a very sensitive issue for people. And in fact, even the government is actually getting more and more focused towards this direction, and we've been working very closely with the government on this direction. So one of the key things is that we, in terms of trying to optimize what we are doing, we actually built a very strong understanding of our customer. So if we really look at our customer is very different from a customer who would go and buy a t-shirt or a shirt or a pair of jeans like that. So ours is not really an impulsive buyer. Ours is someone who is traveling, they have a particular need. So the need aspect in the overall decision making is much higher. The travel frequency is once in 3 months on an average for most of our customers that are coming. But there are a large segment of customers which we are discovering, and then that's something that we are learning and adding to the way we are marketing ourselves, is that there are customers, about 1 million to 2 million such customers who are traveling in trains almost like on a monthly or maybe more than a once a month basis. So these are the people that we are really highly focused upon. So if you really look at the meal opportunities, we have a good 15 to 20 high need-based opportunities for these people throughout the year that we can service. And the good part is that we are the leaders in this particular market. The other thing is that most of these decisions are actually done at the last minute. So like a person would not really bother to book a meal at the time of booking their travel. When they would rather really bother about कि हाँ मैं जा रहा हूँ 2 महीने बाद जा रहा हूँ and मैं क्या खाऊंगा रास्ते में. That is something that people rarely bother about. But they are more concerned when they are traveling. So we have a large number of people who are coming to us in the last 1 hour to last half an hour to last 15 minutes. We've really discovered that on average our order size is somewhere around 350, 370, 360, 390, somewhere around that, and we make about 20% of that. So that is about 70, 75 rupees that we make. And a high frequency of our people who are ordering from us, and that's what we run a call center, we run a mobile front end, and then we run a website. And we've actually done data analysis on how the customers are coming from, where the customers are coming from, both on the analytics front and also on the basis of the numbers that they are using, the mobile numbers that they are using to call us. And what we really found out is that the large frequency is on the golden correlator, which is basically Delhi, Bombay, Delhi, Chennai, Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, Chennai, and then Bangalore and Hyderabad is also getting added up. So Delhi, Bangalore, and Delhi, Hyderabad. So those kind of places. And then there are some key tier 2 cities which are also very, very important for us, like Pune, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, Jaipur, Ludhiana, Nagpur. So these are the kind of places where we are getting a large number of our orders from. So that's basically helping us because we are looking at the data, and I really believe that that is something that we've learned very strongly, and I will show you some metrics to how we have benefited from that. So August 2014 is when we were actually, so one of the things which I really believe is that heavy amount of cash at disposal is actually detrimental, and that's what we discovered that around August 2014, what we were doing is that we were really burning cash and mostly on online forms of data of customer acquisition. So we would discover that no amount which was being spent was enough. Like we would budget 50,000, 50,000 was not enough. So we would budget 70,000 rupees a day, that was not really enough. And a large focus was on display ads. And a lot of the strategy was around spray and pray. Like we would spray and we would do obviously basic amount of focusing, but we would actually expect that once we have done that, and then there would be some return that would be coming to us. And we were not really focusing too much on engaging the customers or getting the customers to return to us, which was not a good idea to do. So what we did is that we actually did some measurement, and we started realizing the importance of unit order economics, which means, just to give you a brief overview, a unit order economics is like you're really seeing that how are you really performing on a profitability basis, on a per order basis. And we really discovered that our service could never be profitable or viable. That's what we discovered. Just to give you some metrics, our cost of acquisition on a gross basis was 104 rupees in August 2014, and on the net basis 64 rupees, and on an average order size, we were doing about 370 rupees. Average revenue per order is rupees 75. So you would really see that we were actually spending 90 rupees to earn 75 rupees, which would never be viable. So we had to do something like at an emergency basis, so to be able to like have a long-term viability about the business, and that's what most of this experience sharing session is all about. Any questions till now, or should I wait till the end? Divya?
I think we can continue. Yeah. Even everyone is recommending to continue.
Okay, good. All right. So what we did is that one of the key important thing is that it's important for us to build an ecosystem. And what is the ecosystem that we are talking about? So basically what we did is that we started focusing train travelers and started engaging with them. Now by giving them free utilities. So one of the free utilities that we give is that we give train tracker and train reminder system. So wherein people can come and then they can track themselves on where they are on a map basis, and also they have a reminder based system. Similarly, we had systems for PNR, and in terms of like if your PNR is not getting confirmed, so there is a reminder based utility which sends you on an email on a daily basis where your booking is as of now. And we've also started building predictors, like in terms of like the railway would say that since we have much more intricate data in terms of mobile devices which are really online, which are really moving about. And in addition to that, we have so much of historical data, so we can actually start building a predictive technology. So that is what exactly that we are really building as an ecosystem. And there is a dedicated team right now which is set up to create such utilities which are helpful for the railway people, railway passengers. Now these are the people whom we want to engage with. We don't necessarily want to earn from directly, but we want to help them and we want to be with them during their travel. Another thing is that we started focusing on returning customers. So we, like for example, we were doing display ads. So we stopped display ads, general display ads, and we started doing remarketing. We were doing display ads on mobile, which were not really yielding any results. So we stopped that and something else. And the most important thing is that we use technology to focus on returning customers. So what we have on our platform is that we are looking at the customers on where they are going and what kind of orders are they doing and how has been their behavior on the platform and on the order pipeline. And then we subsequently suggest them. And like for example, this is a screenshot of a panel which is there and which is always open with us. So anyone who is coming, for example, with an order, we have a utility which keeps on looking at their futures to serve them. So we are actually yielding out. So for example, if you look at the first row, Abhishek has ordered from us in train number 12129, and he's ordered from a restaurant called Salt and Spice, and he is ordered at Raigad. Now, if I really look at the last column, I listed there, but then I have Jharsuguda, Raurkela, Ahmednagar and Bilaspur also listed there where his dinner could actually be arranged. So these are things which are being sent to the customer on an engagement basis, and also it's also available to our internal team which can take actions upon that. We also discovered the beauty of mobile. So the engagement of a mobile customer for us is 15 times higher as compared to web-based customer. And the conversion, so I'm sorry for this, conversion is 3 times higher for a mobile customer as compared to a web customer. And this particular data is even higher on a mobile app. Now what we also did is that our mobile website and our mobile app is exactly identical, so that we actually reduce the friction in terms of how the customer experiences us. And we also discovered that one of the key stops for us is that our app is being used in the train. As I said, that most people are really coming to us at the last minute or last few hours, and that time it's highly likelihood that they are in trains or they are in cities where the network quality is very, very poor. So our app, we built in technology to have it work in a low network area or a no network area as well. We also found out that there are minor changes that we do actually yield a very, very strong result on the funnel. So if you look at the right screen, you would find that there is a screen which is the final checkout screen. Now at this, if you really look at the orange colored rectangle, there is this rupees 580 which is written, which is inclusive of the service tax. Now earlier the entire breakup was being given, which was like a very elaborate kind of a breakup on what is the service tax amount, and then we do a little bit of rounding off. So we were writing much more details for the customer. Now most of the customers would not really understand it. So we just removed those details and we did a A/B test, and on that basis we found out that the result on this kind of a simpler screen is 2 times higher. So our conversion has gone up 2 times on this particular screen. So similarly, there are other screens which we really found out that there are issues, and then we can actually optimize on that, and we have done that. So if you would see from August to June 2015, what has been the difference of all these activities? So it's not like you do one particular thing, then it'll yield some major results. It's a overall net difference that really comes. So like for example, the cost of acquisition in August 2014 was 104 rupees on a gross basis, which has come down to 50 rupees on a gross basis in June. Now this has not yet yielded in drop of orders that are coming to us. That's the most brilliant part. The cost for acquisition on a net basis was 64 rupees, which has come down to 26 rupees in June 2015. The average order size has stayed about the same. The average revenue has also stayed about the same. Servicing and telecom cost, we also did some work on our call center, on our telecom, on the way we actually integrate. So that is also something which has really come down to 21 rupees, but that's not really a significant drop as compared to the cost of acquisition coming down from 64 rupees to 26 rupees. We've almost stopped doing any display ads on mobile. We are not doing that anymore. We are almost stopped doing display ads on desktop. Now that does not mean that we are not going to do that anytime in the future, or it is a wrong idea. It is not a good idea to do that. We really think that how it really works in terms of the various channels is that one has to really have a plethora of arrows in their quiver. So you can actually start use a few arrows, but after a few days those arrows become unusable. So what you have to do is that you have to really give it a rest and then come back later. So for example, display ads, what our experience has been, it really works best in terms of batches. So like you run it for 1.5 months and then you boost it, and then you can stay quiet for about 3.5 months, and then you can come back to it. We're doing display, but we're only doing display for we are spending now on getting the mobile apps installed, and largely on the search basis. We are focusing more and more on remarketing, which includes both Google as well as Facebook remarketing. One of the key things that we have learned is emails have really started working very good for us, and particularly targeted emails. So once a customer orders, what we've really discovered is, based on the data, is that the next 3 days the probability of that customer ordering is very, very high. So what we do is that we actually generate auto emails, and then we also send that to the customers in the next 2 to 3 days, and the result is really, really very positive. So at that time, the response of people responding on that particular email and ordering from us is about 13 to 14%, which is like net sale done, which is much, much higher than any other industry-based metrics. So, and also obviously we are building an ecosystem, so adding targeted informative content to the portal, which is really yielding really positive results for us. So I'm sure I've given you a lot of data. So if you have any question about that, please feel free to ask. I can see that there is a question about remarketing. So Divya, do you want me to address that right now?
If you want, you can. It would be better if you do it right now, so that the people who are absolutely new to digital marketing, yeah.
Right, right. So remarketing is basically getting the customers back, whoever have come to you or who have ordered with you at least once earlier. And most of the online advertising, including Google, allows you to actually do that. So what they do is that they put a tag on your web page or your mobile app, and that tag is being tracked, and future whatever happens, whenever that person uses the website or any other website on which other Google ads are going, that particular tag is reused and detected by Google so that they can detect that this person has visited your website earlier. So it's a way to find out people who have come to your website and then really address them again. So, Divya, actually, I am done with the data. I mean, now the time is for question and answers, so I can see several of them really coming up. So, another question that has come up is, I cannot see this fully, so.
I can help you with it. Should I repeat the questions which they have asked?
Yeah, you can ask me questions.
ठीक.
Yeah, you can ask me those questions and I can try to address that.
Sure. The first question was of Suresh. He asked about after placing an order, if a customer cancels, then would you not face any loss? Does the customer have to pay first or place the order?
So when a customer places an order, they have a good timeline by which they can really cancel their order. Normally, what we do is that we also have an algorithm which is, so that's also an interesting thing. So we don't really charge the customer as of now for cancellation, even for a cash on delivery order. Now, one of the things that we are doing in terms of optimizing the loss on that is that we are having an algorithm which we have designed based on old data, and that algorithm tells us whether the customer is likely to be a fake customer or not be a fake customer. So we are really bothered about the fake customers, and we try to avoid the fake customers, and those fake customers are churned out by the algorithm. Now there are some very genuine customers who cancel at the last minute because of a genuine reason, and we allow that. So so normally our experience is that the percentage is 0.02% or something, which is very low. So it's not really impacting us as of now.
Okay, great. So moving on to next question. It's by Ajit. How do you compare the performance of email marketing versus marketing through other channels like Facebook, Google, etc.?
So I did not really, in terms, so we basically measure everything by cost. And that's the, so we've got to, I really understand that there has to be a benchmark in terms of how you measure one versus the other. Email marketing versus display marketing versus search marketing are very different than each other, and the way they work is very different, and the only benchmark which is available to you is the cost that you are doing and a cost per acquisition basis. So we are measuring cost per acquisition very tightly.
Okay.
On these channels.
Great.
And that's how we measure.
Yeah, the cost is a major factor for comparing the performance. Okay. The next question is by Manu. It's about.
And it's not really the.
Yeah.
It's not the absolute cost, the way it's cost per acquisition.
Okay. Yeah. ठीक है. So apart from email, what is the next best channel works for you? And have you ever tried posters on railways or other offline activities?
Yeah, we have tried posters. We have tried pamphlets. They work very good for us. And since most of this like presentation or the webinar was focused around digital, I did not bring those aspects in. But yes, I mean that is really a parallel thing which is going on, and yields very positive results.
Okay. And moving on to next
So
question.
just to share with you, like we do various types of activities. We do pamphlets, we do stickers, we do hoardings at various railway stations. We sometimes run BTL, and then we run like goodies that we keep giving to our customers. So like just to share with you this kind of a mug that we give out to some customer as a surprise. What we have really discovered is that surprise factor really works very positively for the customer. So if a customer is not expecting anything from us, and then the customer gets that a surprise, like for example a mug or a free cold drink or something like that, it works very positively for the customer.
Okay. And moving on to Manu's question. It's apart from email, what's the best? We have already covered this. Next is Pawan. What is targeted informative content? So, yeah, it's this one.
So targeted informative content is that targeted informative content the way is that basically, for example, you are going to Bhopal, and I know that you are going to Bhopal, so I am giving you information about Bhopal and where you can get what in Bhopal, and the kind of numbers that important numbers and about Bhopal and what to see in Bhopal. So that's like a targeted informative content which is available for our customers, and we keep taking our customers to such content when we discover about their travel. And one of the good things that we have is that we have a very strong information or very deep level information about the travelers and what are they doing, what are they ordering, what kind of a buying power do they have. So we can actually optimize on this kind of a thing.
Hope this helps, Pawan. Next question is by Rahil. So when you plan to create a business out of this idea, what was the biggest challenge you faced in terms of arranging finance specifically?
So one of the key things that is there, which that's my personal experience, and I don't know whether you can quote on me on that or not, but one of the key things is that ours is a very original thing and probably one of the first of its kind in the world. So we don't have like a reference point or a benchmark which of a similar business that has been created in the US or some other place or a place like that. So obviously PCs don't have a reference point to check us, and then one has to take a higher risk or a higher bet in terms of funding us. The next aspect was also about since we are actually doing something which has traditionally been a railways forte or really a closed market forte. So one of the key concerns of the initial investors was that whether railways would be able to allow us doing this or not. So that was another aspect.
Okay, thanks. Next is by Kabir. He's asking, how do you target such profiles, such specific profiles through Google? So this will be a question of major of the audience who are absolutely new to digital marketing.
So that's exactly what I was sharing earlier also. Remarketing is one very besides. So I'm sure like we at Digital Vidya, I also learned quite a lot from Digital Vidya. And I'm sure Divya, you would be running similar courses
Yes, we
where
do.
they can educate themselves
Yeah.
about these basics. So these are some very basic aspects of digital marketing.
Yeah. So since we are talking about this, I would just ask everyone if we have a poll. I'm just launching it. So if anyone wants to know about the online courses which we have, they can just provide just select no, yes or no, or if they are already a part of our program in the poll, and our team will get in touch with you with all the details of the program. So I'll just give 5 more seconds to it. Yes. So yes, we can go forward with the question and answers. Next question is by Ronak. He's asking, sir, you said that app even works in less network areas and no network areas. So how can it work in a no network area?
Okay, how does it work is that our app detects whether the network is available or not, and if it's not available, it starts a parallel transport channel. And the protocol of that is been built internally inside Travel Ghana, and that transport, that communication between server and the mobile is on a SMS uh, pipe.
Okay. Yeah, going forward, Ajit's question. So what all analysis your teams have helped you in important business decisions?
Can you repeat that,
Yeah,
Divya, please?
it's regarding the analysis your team is doing with important decisions, business decisions specifically. What all
Right.
reportings you are referring to? Yeah, I hope
So
you got it.
we basically have a very detailed level dashboard, which is basically yielding out all different aspects related to our company, which is available to the senior management and most of the key decision makers. And we are actually very, very transparent about data. So a large set of this data is available to most other people. So that has data about revenue, that has data about the cost of acquisition, that has data about orders, that has data about the various channels. So that is something that we keep doing. One of the key things that we are wanting to move to is that have it on a daily basis, have it be updated on a daily basis. We have been able to reach to a weekly level, but not really a daily level.
Okay, great. Hmm. Next is Debjyoti. It's more related to the operations of your organization. So it's asking, how do you maintain the quality of food, or how does the customer identify which restaurant is good or which is bad and which is economical just by going through the app or website?
So that's a very good question actually. So what we are doing is that we do a level of curation when we go around and we find out restaurants. So the steps that we do are in order of finding out the good restaurant in a city, taking feedback of locals, then going and experiencing that restaurant as a decoy customer, and then looking at their packaging. Then if they have displayed any licenses, etc., that is what we look for. And we also get a understanding of the kitchen and the hygiene and the education of the people who are running the restaurants. So we are actually like, so these are the factors that we have learned over the time that really work for us. Now, how do we do that on a long-term basis? That we take a feedback from every customer. We have put in a very strong customer care system, which is basically we've used Freshdesk and we've integrated that into our product so that people, whenever they complain, that's taken very seriously and that's going through a particular defined process of complaint handling. The future, how is it looking like, is that what we've discovered is that the customers are ordering largely from a limited set of items. And how Travel Khana is going to look like in the future is that it's going to actually take away the headache of choosing the restaurants for the larger set of audience, for 80% of our audience, wherein if you want a thali, then Travel Khana will do the work and the Travel Khana technology will do the work to pass on that order to the best customer, best restaurant. And also we are standardizing on a menu and standardizing on the selling price that we sell the items at. So you don't really have to bother if a thali is going to cost you 120 rupees, it's going to cost you 120 rupees across the country. And in addition to that, we help these restaurants with packaging. So we provide them standard branded packaging. And if you give me a second, I can get someone to give you an idea of what kind of packaging that we do.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you so much. I hope this helps. Yeah. Narendra. Next question is by Narendra. So how do you target audience specifically? So one is by the people who visit your website or do booking on your website. So what other strategies do you follow to target customers?
So as I said, someone just said that do you actually run posters on railway stations and do you run stickers and these kind of things? We do quite a lot of that. On the digital front, obviously there are technologies in which help us in targeting these customers. Additionally, what we have found is that the user behavior is such that in the last 3 days of the order, they order again. Like if they come to me and they order, then in the next 2 to 3 days, the likelihood of their ordering with us is very high. So we have this thing going on automatically from the platform. Yeah. So for example, automatically SMS is going from the platform, which is inviting them to order with us again. I actually showed a screen on upsells. So if you really look at this is a screen which is showing upsells. So for example, if you come to the first row, you will find Abhishek and they have ordered, Abhishek has ordered in train number 12129 at Salt and Spice Railgun. So our platform is predicting where can this person take the next orders from. So we have based on his movement, and Jharsuguda, Rawalkela, Ahmednagar, Bilaspur is where his lunch or dinner timings are, and he can order from this particular location. So this is something which built. So that is what.
Okay. Yeah. Great. So next question is by Pallavi. She's asking what kind of emails you send to your customers. So what's the communication it involves? Is it a branding activity which you do, or is it something specific?
So we do a mix of that. If Pallavi gives her email ID, we will include her into our email campaign so that she can get a copy of that every time.
Sure.
It's a mix of everything that we are doing. Another thing is that we actually do so it's a mix of emails, general emails, informative emails, offers, also in terms of telling them about some features that travel Khana services have. Like for example, we ran a campaign on particular item which is famous for quota, and there were responses on that. So that is something that we do. And then if you come to our website, there is a way to register your email ID. And when you register, then what happens is that you get those emails.
Sure, she'll surely get herself registered to your website. So next is Manu. He's asking, I see that you have an app on your website. So what's the ratio of mobile apps or the website orders? So which is working in favor of you?
Oh, actually, that's very, very interesting. Mobile is right now about 35%, and it's growing very, very rapidly. So the largest growth is coming from the app, and we expect that in a year's time it will be about 65 to 70%, despite the fact that the network availability in trains is very limited.
Exactly. That's why mobile will be working in favor for you. So Pawan is
And then
asking, yeah. Sorry, Pawan
and
is,
we might as well see in the future. So one of the key things I'm sure a lot of people here are interested in that is that why are companies wanting to shut down their websites or other acquisition channels?
yeah.
So it's not that people want to shut down just for the reason, but a rupee spent on mobile yields much more as compared to a rupee spent on the website or any other channel. So one of the key reasons is that people want mobile to be like the forerunner for most of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, Divya, I interrupted you.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So next is by Pawan. He's asking, have you ever tried Twitter for promotion of your
Have you
business?
tried what?
Twitter.
Twitter?
Yeah.
Twitter in terms of Twitter advertising or Twitter in general
In
social media?
general, maybe in terms of
Yeah,
generating more business for you. Have you ever tried getting
yeah,
orders through Twitter?
no. We are not yet. We've not really experimented with that. But Twitter is a very good engagement platform for us. We've not really focused on uh, basically getting orders on Twitter. If someone wants to help us, they are free to contact me and uh, share share their ideas, and we'll be open to look at that.
Sure. Yes, thanks, Pawan, for the idea. Ajit's asking, how do you analyze your customer feedback? Yeah, it's important information
How do
actually.
I do that?
Your customer's
Can
feedback.
so I didn't get this question properly. I mean,
So, have you, after just giving the order, you take orders from the feedback from the clients which you serve? So, how do you take
yeah,
it?
I have to do that.
Yeah. So, you consider the
So how do
feedback?
we?
Yeah.
So we used to till very recently, what we used to have is a missed call based system where customer would be able to uh, dial a missed call based on the experience that they had. So good or the bad or ugly was what the options were. And our experience was that customers were not really engaging very strongly on that. Like once you've gotten your food, you really not bother about giving feedback. So 15 to 20% of the people were really giving us feedback, which we found out was the industry average. But now in the next version of the app, we are going to integrate it such that one can really uh, give a feedback anytime you are going to use the app once after you have ordered from us. So something of the way where how Uber does it for its drivers.
Yeah, exactly.
So what happens is that once you order from us, and then you have ordered, anytime next time you order use our app, we will give you a suggestion. We will ask you what was your feedback for the last order, and you can simply rate it on a scale of 1 to 5.
So you take feedback after every order, if it's from mobile
Yeah,
app.
we do take feedback after every order, and we have a very strong belief in that.
Yeah, exactly. So do we. So next is Chaitanya. He's asking what kind of investment did you build? You did for building your technology? Was the operation in-house or it is outsourced?
No, it's mostly in-house.
Hmm.
We were outsourcing our mobile. We are now building it, like bringing it in-house. So
Hmm.
we really believe that that will work much better for us rather than
Yeah,
outsourcing.
exactly. So you have trust in the in-house activities. Next is
Similarly, like with the digital marketing, we had in like outsourced earlier, but we brought most of the things in-house.
great. Hmm.
So I believe that these are very core activities of the company, and we would not like to outsource these activities.
Yeah. Next is Ronak's question. He's asking, have you tried advertising on IRCTC itself? IRCTC's website.
Yes, yes, we have done that, and that has, so we still do that.
Hmm.
Not that we don't do that, we do that.
Does it help in bringing in the business?
Yeah, very positive. As I said, that we always do a targeted, focused advertising.
Yeah.
So it always is very helpful.
Yeah. So
But
next,
IRCTC
yeah.
earlier, now it's gone on Google. Earlier it had a slightly oldish way of really doing. So they would come out with a quarterly bid on which people would really bid on a particular page and a location and a banner, and that's how it was working. But now it's gone partly on Google and partly it's doing the same. So if you really go to IRCTC, the big ones are still really directly uh, related to IRCTC, and they are being posted by IRCTC directly. Like for example, Amazon is directly linked with IRCTC. It's not going through Google.
Okay, great. So next is Narendra's question, and I guess someone else also asked similar question. So did you face any issues from the railway department regarding, since they also supply their own food uh, to the passengers? So were there any problem with that?
We did initially, get resistance from the railway vendors when we were small.
Hmm.
And now what is happening is that many of these railway vendors have come along with us to provide a higher quality service when someone orders from Tata. So that resistance has gradually faded away.
Yeah, it should. So next is by Manil. I guess this is the last question. He's asking just to give him a tentative ratio. What's the percentage of promotional email to the to the percentage of information or educational content which you share? So how much promotional email
I
did you?
don't have this data right now.
अच्छा,
I don't know whether I can answer this. I don't have the number right now.
ठीक है, no issues. We'll get back to you with this if we get
Yeah.
the data. Yeah. I guess we are done with the questions. Let us know if we missed out someone else's question. You can just type in the chat box. So there's one suggestion by Pallavi. She's saying that yeah, she'll surely get herself registered to your website.
Thank you, Pallavi.
Mhm.
And
Chitra,
you guys feel free to give us feedback. I I am available, pushpinder@travelkhana.com. And any feedback, please feel free to, I will just type it here
Yeah.
so that you can access each meeting. I don't know, if I'm typing, Divya, it's not going somewhere.
You just need to type in the right side of the chat box. There's one chat box on the right hand side. Or what? I'll just send it to everyone.
Divya, you have the email ID,
Yes,
right?
I do. I just sent
Divya,
it
you
to.
have the,
Yes, I'll just send it to everyone.
yes.
@travelkhana.com. Am I right?
Yeah, yeah. Now I can see the chat box. Excuse me for my,
No issue. So we have, yes, we
yeah,
have more questions. One is by Chitrul. Can you please give a brief talk of your supply chain and how digital technology is helpful in this?
okay, very good. So that's a very good question. So we have about 1,100 restaurants which are linked to us or supplying us various types of meals. Right now, till now, they were linked with us on an SMS channel and an email channel. That means that they would be integrated and the information would be sent to them on a SMS/email, and invoices are being generated and they're automatically sent to them. Uh, However, we are going to just shortly release a mobile app. So one of the things that we have discovered is that SMS is very unreliable as a platform. Although we've built in technology and gateways to minimize on that, which means that our gateway detects where the congestion is and automatically sends the SMS on another channel. But SMS is still a very unreliable channel. So we are moving everything to the mobile app. And this is like a dedicated mobile app for the vendors.
Okay. So next question is by Rajiv. He's asking regarding example of when you have integrated digital marketing with offline marketing.
Not yet. That's a very, very good question. That's a very close matter to my heart. We are in the process of doing that. We are learning, but just to be like very candid, we have not yet fully integrated digital with offline.
Okay, so you will soon. Next is by Bhanu.
But that someone is actually mentioning that because that's something which that's very close to our heart, and that's what we are doing right now.
Going forward, next is by Bhanu. He's having 3 questions. So one is, have you did traditional marketing do? 2. So yes, I think you already answered this question. And next question by him is, do you get any commission from the restaurants?
Yes, yes, we get 20%. Why would we running this business? We don't get any commission.
The next question is, what's the service charge you charge? Service charges.
So we don't, as of now, we don't charge any service charge. We have a minimum order size for most restaurants. So some restaurants are ready to give meals as like orders for like below minimal order size. And in that case, there is a delivery charge that they take, and that is entirely passed on to the restaurants. And there is no facilitation charge or a convenience charge that Travel Khana, as of now, charges. Travel Khana has the provision of it in the platform, but we have not yet activated.
Okay. Okay. I think we are done with all the questions. Yes, we are. So I just give 5 more seconds to anyone who is asking, who wants to ask the question. If you want, we can unmute you as well and you can ask your questions. Is there someone who wants to talk to us directly? I don't think, yeah. I guess we are done for the session. Yes, we have got more
All right.
questions. Do you plan to cook your own food and services? So instead of
Not in the short-term future. I don't know how the long-term future or the mid-term future will pan out. But not in the short-term future. We plan to and intend to be a marketplace.
Great. So yes, we are done for the session. So thank you so much, Pushpinder, for such a lovely session which we had today. And it was a pleasure listening to you and your business process and how you have grown up from in the past 3 years. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. We would love to have you in our upcoming webinars. And if you want, you can also let us know about the feedback by sending an email to info@digitalvidya.com. We'll surely improvise our sessions accordingly. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thank you very much.